clearing your mind and
noticing what's going on with your own self and how you're feeling. That's what we're going to be talking about today.
so understanding how anxiety can build up over days if you don't kind of clear it out and away every day.
Yes, exactly. You have to have your little duster. Dust it away,
That's
clean it away. Yeah.
Good technique.
Good technique for your own mind.
That's what we're going to be chatting about in this week's episode of
Get Real with the English Sisters.
Mind, health and anxiety relief. We are therapists and we are here to help you.
Yeah, and now we're going to start by reading a short story that we wrote in one of our therapeutic books, Stress Free in 3 Minutes.
And it's called Dust. Often invisible to the eye, dust settles layer upon layer
and lies weightless and ever so fine. It is only when the sun shines that it can be seen, and it is clear for all to see.
Dust can settle in your mind if you don't allow the sun to shine,
causing problems that lead to grief, worry and disease.
Allow the sun to shine, and day by day you'll see when the dust lies.
Since dust has a habit of settling quickly, you can get into the habit of dusting your mind every day.
Simply by allowing the sun to shine brightly inside you.
So obviously, I think the little story speaks for itself.
It does.
Today,
it does.
It's a clear metaphor of how if we allow the light inside, if we allow that sun to shine within us, we can see what's going on clearly. Whereas if we tend to just hide away and
if we don't dust every day,
if
we don't clear our thoughts, if we don't process our thoughts every day, if we're not aware of what's going on, of how anxious we're feeling, maybe, or how the problems are building up, they will get worse and worse.
They kind of stack up, don't they? You'll find that by the time the evening comes and it's time for you to rest and to close your eyes, you'll feel that you still have something that needs to be cleared out, something that needs to be dusted,
because you haven't done your housekeeping for the day. So it's mind. Just like in real life, when you get up and you make your bed every day, it's actually scientific proof that you feel better.
It actually does.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. You think, why? Well, what's the point of making my bed every day? It's kind of like a simple habit that will set your mind up for, okay, I did one thing and I completed one task. So therefore, the rest of the tasks that you have for the day seem to be easier because of the fact that you took that first step.
I know.
It's odd, isn't it? You think, what's the point?
No. The other day,
there is a psychological reason to making your bed, apart from it looking nice.
Now, the other day, my daughter she's grown up now. She'll be getting married soon. Yay! She showed me. She lives in London, and she showed me. She said, "Mum, look." I don't know why she was, because I said I'd cleared out our wardrobe. And she was saying, "Mum, look at my room. This is how it is at the minute." And then she goes, "You remember I've got the blue and the pink cushions?" And I go, "I can't remember exactly." So I said, "Show me." So she sent a photo, and she had all her bed was lovely made with all the throws on and all the cushions.
Oh, yeah.
And then she had all little soft cutie toys on it.
That's so
like
cute.
little jelly bean babies.
You never grow up enough. You can still have soft toys.
And I said, "Oh my gosh, your room looks so lovely." And she said, "Yeah, Mum, if I can manage to make my bed before I go out, I really feel better when I come home. I really like it."
Yeah, and it's not. It's because it's lovely to look at as well.
Yeah,
she obviously enjoyed it.
To look at.
I like making my bed as well. Most of 99%, I'll make my bed.
So will I.
Yeah, I mean, unless something happens or something, I'm in a rush or something, or I'm ill. But normally I like to make my bed. But for me, it's like, okay, step by step, I'm getting through. Like I'm doing I did that, and then the rest of the things fall into place. And there was an actual study done. and I can't remember what it was now, but it was on students, and they said if they managed to make their bed, they were more likely to go and then complete their homework or their reading, whatever had to be done. It puts you in the frame of mind of saying, I've done one thing, I can do another. And I think the same thing is if we all get used to doing a little dusting and thinking, just taking that moment, throughout the day. It doesn't have to be at the end of the day.
No, I don't think it should be at the end of the day. It should be throughout your day. Just check in on yourself and see how you're feeling. See if anything's accumulating, if any feelings of anxiety or stress, starting to brew or add up inside you. You can just take a little step back and say, no, I just need to do a little bit of dusting. I'm just going to clear all that stuff. Take a deep breath. And just allow it to flow away.
Or accept it. Yeah. If it doesn't necessarily have to flow away. Like the other day I was telling my husband, he was saying, oh, you have to go and pick up the car now. And I was thinking, oh gosh, where is that mechanic that I have to go and pick up the car? I'm not sure where it is. And then I was thinking, I actually said it, I go, this is making me feel anxious because I don't know the exact address. And he was saying, you're joking, you're feeling anxious. It's just literally, you know exactly where it is. So I said, if you give me landmarks, like you tell me it's near that coffee bar and it's near that, even, don't just give me the address, give me what. Then he was explaining it to me and I felt calmer. But I addressed that anxiety. I said, that makes me feel anxious.
So you realised it?
I realised it. So by addressing it and not just keeping quiet and saying, oh yeah, sure. I overcame it in a way. I overcame it and I managed to go and get my car and everything. Somebody had to take me there, but because I didn't have a car. But what I mean is that sometimes if you admit to yourself, and maybe it might seem like the things are small, but you can admit to yourself that you feel anxious about them.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not a big deal. Like you picking up your car wasn't a big deal, but you said you felt anxious about it. You actually took a moment to realise it was making you feel anxious.
Yeah.
Whereas if you hadn't, you might have just gone on ahead and just sort of rushed on with full of adrenaline and anxiety. Oh, I'm going to go, I don't know where this is. La, la, la.
And then in the end, I probably would have still got it, but I wouldn't have.
Got it,
noticed the emotions.
Felt more anxious about it.
Yes, you're right. These things make you.
They seem stupid because they seem like just silly things. And like what you were saying about your niece the other day, you said that she was feeling anxious about going to a different part of Italy that she had to go to
for her job.
She had to get a car, and she's in her 30s as well. And she was saying, Auntie, I don't know why I'm feeling so anxious.
I said, just because I asked her, I said, how's it going then? And she said, oh, it's fine. And I said, so you like your job then? And she said, yeah, I really enjoy my job. And I noticed something on her face. And I said, you feeling anxious about? She goes, no, come on, how can I be? No, it's just a silly thing. And I said, what is it? She said, tomorrow I have to go to Sardinia. And then I have to how do you say?
She had to set
up the whole store there.
She's a manager.
She's a manager. And I said, oh my gosh, that sounds like it could be nerve-wracking, I said. And then she said, yeah, actually, I haven't been sleeping. I haven't slept for 3 days about it. Aren't I stupid? I've done this before. And I said, no, you're not stupid. It's all change. You've got to get on a plane.
It's the unknown.
Then you've got to hire a car. She goes, God, I've been stressing about hiring that car. I go, and I said, don't you know what the car is? She goes, no, the company does it for me. So they've chosen a car and they put it in my name. So I don't know whether it's going to be an automatic, a manual drive. And I'm so silly, aren't I? And I said, no, you're not silly. That's really normal for you to feel that way. And so she said, really, Auntie? And I said, absolutely. I would be so nervous. She goes, you do this. You're like all about anxiety. I go, I know, but it doesn't make me an anxiety-free person.
No.
It makes me aware of what I can do about it.
Yeah, and acknowledge
how to acknowledge it. And I think you have to embrace it and say, well, it's going to be a bit of a tough challenge, but I can do this because I am a strong woman and I can do this. She said, oh my God, it sounds like I have to climb the Mount Everest. This is ridiculous. I go, no, it's not ridiculous. It's a change. Any change in our lives, any small change can cause feelings. And I think if we acknowledge
people
them,
think that they're the odd ones out, don't they? They
Yes.
think it's just me. I just feel like this.
No.
But then there's so many people that feel like that. And
It's
I
everybody,
noticed
basically.
that my husband, he gets anxious about things and he just kind of goes white, but he won't, he doesn't realize that it's
No.
because he's feeling anxious about something new. He just thinks, he doesn't think anything, I don't think. He's not actually in touch with those emotions and feelings. But he
won't
just
verbalise
doesn't
them.
feel, he's
No.
not his usual jokey, smiley self, and he kind of internalizes and goes quiet. And half the time, if I ask him, are you feeling anxious? He'll say no, but then he says maybe a little bit, and then he kind of gets in touch.
My husband always says he does not feel anxious.
Gets in touch with
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then when I get down to it, I go, maybe a little bit. And then, I've seen how stressed he gets when he has to go onto new paths in every sense of the word. So it's absolutely not true. It's just about understanding that you are and being kind to yourself, I think.
And understanding that it's something different. We are creatures of habits, humans. We are used to doing the same thing in and out, in and out, in and out. We'll be happy with, we get used to it. Sometimes it's stressful, but we get used to that kind of stress. When it's a new kind of stress, it becomes...
It's a new thing that can cause fear until it's not new anymore.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't cause fear. And then we can accept it and we know it. We say, okay, but
if you do like a gentle dusting of your mind and think, yes, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling stressed, but I'm just going to dust that away. It's normal. Other people are in the same situation. It
everybody normalizes it.
It normalizes
Yes.
it. It makes you feel like you're not the odd one out. You're not like the
weird
one,
anxiety free.
Yeah.
You're just part of the normals. Every single person is like that. It actually in the end she said, I'm actually going with there's going to be a new person with me as well. So that was also
because she didn't know her.
No, she didn't know her. She would have to train her, and that was also causing her anxiety. She goes, I'm going to actually have to be with this person for 4 days. And I said, what, do you have to actually share a room? She goes, oh, God, no, Auntie. The company will pay for 2 different hotel rooms. I said, oh, okay, well, at least it's not like sort of, you could get away for a bit. You can like go into your room. She goes, yeah, but most of the day I have to be with this person. I go, you might actually make a new friend. She said, yeah, I might. You're right. I have to think of it.
Change the perspective on things.
Yeah, change it. I go, imagine how scared this girl is going to be. And she said, she was scared, Auntie. That sounds like such a big word. I go, yeah, but fear is masked in so many things that we're not aware. We're actually feeling fear. Anxiety is just another word for fear. So once you acknowledge that you're frightened of something...
Yeah, because you think that only children are frightened, don't you?
But that child is within us.
No,
we have all that learned behaviour that we have learned as a child. If you were told to be quiet a lot as a child, you'll tend to quieten your own feelings and your own emotions, and you won't speak up as much as other children will, as other adults will, because that child within you. We've seen this over and over again.
It's true.
Yeah, you've been told be quiet. You will tend to be more quiet than somebody that was encouraged to speak, perhaps at the dinner table. Why are you laughing?
Because I'm thinking it's not a good time for you to tell me to be quiet when we're doing our podcast.
No, but I'm not telling you to be quiet, but I know that, like, for example, we have been told to be quiet at the dinner table many a time.
Not just at the dinner table.
At school, often, yeah.
We were always told to be quiet, not to
Exactly.
speak up. It was the opposite.
So we have a fear, especially you have more of a fear of authority than I do.
Yeah.
Because I think I had to sort of rebel a little bit as a younger one.
Yes.
Whereas you had to comply to everything. And you were terrified of any kind of authority. So it's because it's funny how, this reflects in our adult lives, is what I'm saying.
Does.
And if we dust, we can become aware of that.
We can
recognize certain emotions are fear of the unknown, fear of messing up. Like my niece is my niece. She was frightened also of the rapport she was going to get at the end of it. Because you're judged, you have a point system of how well you did.
Yeah.
And so that she was frightened of it. So, yes.
You mean of the company?
Yeah, the company. She had a point system.
Yeah, it's all about, I mean, it all comes in layers, doesn't it? It's a layer of the person above you, maybe giving you marks. That all comes down from when you were at school and you got marked for your performance. And it goes into your work life when really you're an adult by then. You shouldn't really be thinking about things like that.
Well, obviously, I mean, you can, but if you're going to do your best...
But you shouldn't be fearful of it, though, should you? There should be no fear attached. It's all learning. It should be all learning and positive feedback.
Yes.
You're getting.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So I think if we learn to do that, if we learn to dust our mind a little bit every day...
Well, it's good.
Without letting the dust settle.
And let the sun shine in, let all the good feelings in. So remember the times when we've done something, say we're fearful of doing a trip or something or going somewhere. Remember all the times that we've already done it and that we've had, a successful outcome.
Exactly, yeah.
And that we know how to do it, really. And this is just a fear that really is not... It has to be accepted, but it doesn't have to take over. It can be dusted away.
We can be kind and accept it and say, yes, I see you. I know this feeling.
Yeah.
Hello, but now I'm going to let the sunshine in and I'm going to clear this dust away. I'm going to clear it from my mind, and because I've done things like this before. And I know how to get through it, and I think that those words of kindness to yourself are really important.
They are important because I think we're so hard on ourselves and we judge ourselves so much for feeling anxious.
Yes,
when it's just normal to feel anxious because it's just a different thing we're doing. There's something that's not in our comfort zone, or it is in our comfort zone, but hey, we did it yesterday, but we're still doing it again today and we still feel fearful. But we're going to conquer that fear. And we're going to accept it. And by accepting it, you conquer it, don't you?
You see it as a challenge and you say, okay, I've done this before. I can do it again. I've overcome so many challenges in my life.
And it can be boring, just like dusting can get really boring if you're doing it again and again. But just like dusting, we need to have the habit of being able to clear our minds from things that are inevitably going to accumulate because it's just part of life. That's what life is.
And just like when you dust a piece of furniture, when it's lovely and shiny, you can actually see the clear veins of the wood. You can see how beautiful it is. And your mind can be like that. It can be this beautiful creation that can be so productive for you if it is clean and free of fear, anxiety, grief, all those things that pile on. So it's time to have, to give it a good spring cleaning.
Yes, good dusting.
A good dusting, and to become aware of it and say, okay, this can go.
This can go. Okay, let us know. You don't go. Can you please click subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a message. You can leave us a text message too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can also support it for a small fee. That's only if you wish to. There's no obligation because we love doing what we do and we love giving out this advice and our life experience to you.
Yes. It is a privilege to us. It's an honour to know that anybody listens, for everybody that listens, it's an absolute privilege for us to be able to share our experiences with you.
Yes.
And so thank you very much.
Please come and say hi on YouTube, where we have the video version of the podcast and we have our shorts as well, and all our little things we get up to during the day. Come and say hi. Lots of love and smiles from the English sisters. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.